Hey guys, my name is Simeo, and today I got some brand new Battlefield 1 gameplay. An embargo finally just lifted. I've been waiting a long time to show you guys this content, but one of the things I want to talk about today is the melee sniping and the way that they're handling the stationary turrets in Battlefield 1. One thing I was skeptical about when I first got my hands on this game was how they were going to be handling the melee combats. Conceptually, it sounds cool, having a wide variety of different melee weapons to choose from with different strengths and weaknesses. That doesn't sound like a bad thing, but I didn't really like their emphasis or how they were talking about how melee was really going to have more of a role in Battlefield 1. This series has never been known for its melee combat. Sure, you can slash at someone's face really quickly like you could in Battlefield 3 and do some damage if you're in a panic situation, or you can come across an unsuspecting victim like a recon on top of a rooftop and get a humiliation kill against him, but that's about it. This is a first-person shooter, and my worry is that having more of an emphasis on melee combat was going to detract from that first-person shooter component. I didn't want everyone running around with swords and axes and just slashing at everyone. Like, I don't think that that would be the best gameplay experience for a Battlefield title. And while I still have my reservations, and we'll get to that here in a second, I got a glimpse as to what DICE was going for when I had a duel against Thick from the Battlefield friends. So here we are flopping around like a bunch of wet noodles. He's missing, I'm missing horrifically with my pistol, and when I run out of my rounds, I thought to myself briefly, all right, that's it. I'm out of cards, I'm out of ammo, he's gonna be able to win. Then I remembered, oh wait, I can charge at him with my bayonet and see what happens. I do so, I thrust it right through his chest, it's glorious, it's brutal, and it was one of the coolest things that I've done in Battlefield in a very long time. I realized at that moment that melee isn't necessarily going to replace combat, but it's adding a further layer, it's adding a different tool that you have at your disposal, if you use it properly, that will allow you to come out of these firefights alive. The one thing that I am a little skeptical about, though, is how they're going to be balancing out all of the other melee weapons. The bayonet charge is one of the coolest things that they've added onto Battlefield. Like, I really like that dynamic, and I like that added layer, but what I'm worried about is the other ones, like the shovel and the hatchets. The shovel does 80 damage when you slash a person in the face. That's a significant amount of damage, and the reason why I'm skeptical about this is that I have a feeling that what people are going to do is they'll shoot at someone really quickly in close encounter combat, do that 20 quick damage, and then they'll slash them in the face and instantly kill them. One quick bullet, one click slash, and you're good to go, and it killed someone from 100% to 0 basically instantaneously. And while I know some people out there will probably have no problem with this, they think it might be awesome, and it adds to that brutality, I would hate for Battlefield to turn into a melee fest where you do just shoot your enemy once, do that moderate amount of damage, and then just finish them off really quickly with an animation with your melee weapon. It does make me very curious, though, on how they're going to add in more variety to all of the other melee weapons that we haven't seen yet. I think it'd be really cool if there were melee weapons that counter others. So for example, if you are using a shovel, you may be able to do a lot of damage, but if you're going against someone who has a sword, they can outrange you, they can stay at a distance. If you are trying to bash each other, they may not do as much damage, but if they keep that distance, they can slowly whittle you down with the sword, and you're just kind of left floundering, hitting the air every time you swing. That would be really cool. I also hope that they're going to add in more unique mechanics like the bayonet charge. I think the bayonet charge is amazing if you can't tell. I love that brutality, I love that system and that extra layer that it adds onto the game, but I hope it's not just where there's only slight differences or there are only cosmetic differences in the melee weapons, and they truly are able to flesh that out. One thing I have to commend DICE on, though, is the way that they're handling the stationary turrets and the cannons that are scattered around the map. Now, in previous Battlefield games, turrets aren't all that beneficial. Usually they don't do a lot of damage like the 50 cal in Battlefield 4, or they're just in wonky positions where they don't give you a good line of sight of the battlefield or the line of sight that you desire, and so you jump into a stationary tow missile turret, you're trying to go for that vehicle, but because there's a bunch of rocks blocking your line of sight, it's just completely worthless. That is not really going to be the case with Battlefield 1. Not only are a lot of these in prime locations where you'd want them to be, but they also hit incredibly hard. Here is one of the moments that I will remember for a very long time, where I was running around as the support class, killing a bunch of infantry. I notice a tank out in the distance. I get into this massive cannon, shoot it. It does an incredible amount of damage. I then go through the amazing reload animation that makes you feel like a badass, insert another shell into the cannon, and then take out the tank out in the distance. The fact that I was then able to get out of the turret at the right moment and kill the guy that was flanking me was just the cherry on top. All of this in combination made for one of the coolest moments that I've experienced in Battlefield. Sound familiar? Sound like the bayonet comment that I made earlier? It should. I don't know if it's because it's the set pieces. I don't know if it's the destruction. I don't know if it's a World War I game. I definitely know it's because of the animations. The animations are of a high quality and they really add to the experience, but all in total, it allows you to have these amazing moments. It may not be a skyscraper falling on over like we have in Battlefield. It may not be an epic Levolution event, but because they've added in all of these little details and they've added in these mechanics, it really adds to that immersion. It adds into that brutality and epic gameplay that a lot of people have grown to love with Battlefield, and it seems like they've ramped that up significantly with Battlefield 1. The last thing I wanted to mention is that DICE is apparently changing the way that the sniper glint mechanic works when you are using a bolt-action rifle as the scout class. Now, for the longest time, one of the biggest complaints that recons have had with the more recent Battlefield games is that the sniper glint, while I know that many people have accepted it, for a lot of situations, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter if it's pitch black, it doesn't matter if you're in the shadows, or if it's raining outside, you always have that sniper glint at the end of the barrel. It's really frustrating. You can never have that more stealthy gameplay if you are using a high magnification scope as the recon class. That is apparently changing slightly with Battlefield 1. According to Westy, a great Battlefield YouTuber, if it's foggy or if it's raining on the map, you will no longer have the sniper glints. Now, not only is this realistic, but it also changes the dynamic of the recon class and gives them different strengths and weaknesses. If it's a bright sunny day on the map, you're gonna have no problem as the scout class to acquire your targets and take them out. To offset this advantage, you're gonna have to deal with the sniper glints. Now, as soon as things get foggy, it is significantly harder. I'm talking, it is really challenging to know where the enemy is coming from, especially at long range when you are sniping. To offset this, you no longer have the sniper glint, so the enemy is going to have no idea where you are. If you had sniper glint, it would be busted. Like, the enemy could just shoot at the beacon out in the distance and take you out. So that's good that they're taking that out of the equation. But also this means that when you are shooting at someone, they're going to have a very, very challenging time at taking you out because you're going to be the ghost out in the fog and they're going to have no idea where you're coming from. And so it adds in this new dynamic that we simply do not have in previous Battlefield games where the weather really is going to impact the gameplay, especially when you are playing as the recon class. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Give me your thoughts on what I discussed in today's video. Do you like the way that they're handling the melee system? Do you love that the weather effect is going to have a significant difference on the way that different classes perform? Let me know down below. But yeah, guys, until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.